V times are made it. Let's go ahead and drop down to a 60-minute time frame. Right? As you can see, I got some stuff marked out on my charty tart here. All right. We talked about this a little bit during the public pre-market analysis. By the way, speaking of the public pre-market analysis, I've decided that on Tuesdays at 9 a.m., I will do a public pre-market analysis. This morning, Wednesday at 9 a.m. this morning, we did a public pre-market analysis because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. Right? I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, and so I did it today. Now, the reason why I chose to do Tuesday is because, one, I want to add value to the channel for the people that's not in the gang, and two, I want to add value to the gang by giving them an extra day of pre-market analysis with myself, because I know that it is not only helpful, but it's reassuring when you get an opportunity to hear the mentor, if you will, speak about the levels that they're watching, and it helps you, I guess, trust your levels a little more if that's the same thing you're looking at, or it may add something to your radar that you wasn't thinking about, right? Or it just, it may just be one of the things where, hey, you want to fade the mentor and see how good you are, and you want to, just, prove me wrong. I don't know why you use it, but it gives you 4 days to get the pre-market analysis as opposed to just 3 days with one tape reading session. All right. So Tuesday, for those that's not in the gang, if you want to check out the pre-market analysis, Tuesday at 9 a.m. Every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Unless I just don't feel like doing it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Unless I just don't feel like doing it. Now, we opened up today right over here at this gray box right there. That's our new day opening gap right there. For those who don't know what a new day opening gap is, a new day opening gap is the difference in price from when price closed at 5 p.m. one day and then opened at 6 p.m. the next day, meaning, the futures start at 6 p.m. at night. So when the futures day closed at 5 p.m. on Monday, right? When it closed Tuesday, when it closed at 5 p.m. on Tuesday and then opened at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, that was the Wednesday's trading day starting, right? So from the 5 p.m. close to the 6 p.m. open, that gives you your new day opening gap, right? And your new week opening gap is just the 5 p.m. close on Friday to the 6 p.m. open on Sunday. It's the same thing, except for it's starting a new week instead of a new day. Okay, so this is our new day opening gap right there. That's what we opened up. And as you see, I have this SIBI, this 12 p.m. SIBI marked out from Thursday. Okay, the reason why we have that marked out is because that's the first SIBI in this move down right here, right? See, as we move down there, that's the first SIBI. All right. We're watching that SIBI because price is in a short-term buy program, right? Based off of we are in this sell program over here. We've come down to an anticipatory reactionary point. Came up, got a break in market structure, right? A bullish break in market structure at that. And so now price is in a buy program, right? And we continue that buy program straight away at the open. We just continue to go up. And since we're in a short-term buy program, right, you want to look at your high probability inversion fair value gaps, meaning the first SIBI of some displacement leg. You're looking at those high probability inversion fair value. Just like the other day, if you remember, we were watching that SIBI right there, right? That was the SIBI we was watching. Why? Because that was the first SIBI and this moved down, right? We were watching that, right? Price used it as an inversion fair value gap. You can see right there, we opened up just on top of it there, right? And price continued up, right? Now, what's the next SIBI we're watching? Tim, why are you not watching that SIBI right there? That's not the first SIBI in this move down, right? That's not the first SIBI in this move down. When I'm looking at this area right here, right, I'm not watching that SIBI right there. I'm watching that breaker right there. I'm watching that breaker right there. But Tim, why are you watching that breaker? How quickly do we forget? What is IPTA looking for first? Bullish mitigation blocks and bullish breakers. All right. Right? Get it? We have traded back up. We got a break in market structure. Where does the break in market structure happen at? When you're coming up and you trade above those highs, creating those breakers and mitigation blocks. And then you start to consolidate there at that break in market structure, whether you're sitting on top of that breaker or that mitigation block, right? So when we come over here and we look at our charty tart next to our thingamajiggy, you know what I'm talking about, all right? We came all the way down here, right? We trade all the way back up, right? Remember, this was our range over here. We was looking at that high. We'd come all the way back down to that low right there. That was our range right there. We trading back up. Trading back up. Trading back up. I'm trading back up. When I get to this line right there, what's that line over there? Equilibrium, right? And so when I trade above that equilibrium, right? What do we have sitting right there? We have a breaker sitting right there. Right? See it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Ooh, my secret. Right? So we got that breaker sitting right there. So I'm not paying attention to that gap right there. Why? Because that's not the first in this move down there. This is the first. So I'm paying attention to that fair value gap. Right here, I will be paying attention to that breaker. So when we come above here and create that breaker there, and we start hanging out right there, notice, right? Let me move some of these lines so you can see it good. I'm gonna stretch it out for those of you who are maybe on your cell phones and stuff like that. Get out of here. All right. Open this up. Let's do this right here. I'm going to go ahead. Remember what we said? We said if price is exceedingly bullish, we want to see that sensitivity, right? And this is the wick of this bullish breaker right here, right? This is the wick of that bullish breaker, okay? Look at the sensitivity in price at that bullish breaker. We're just inside the wick, right? We're just inside the wick of that bullish breaker. Price comes down, can't even make it to consequent encroachment. So what does that mean? It's defending the lower half of that wick with everything that it's got. Everything that it's defending it, right? And then price moves back up above the fair value gap that we were watching. And once it moves back above the fair value gap that we was watching, look at the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. So right here, the algorithm was telling you I'm exceedingly bullish because I'm having this extreme sensitivity at the wick of this breaker. I didn't even get back down into the price, the actual body of the breaker. I'm showing you extreme sensitivity at this breaker. Right? So no, I'm not looking over here saying, oh, it's reacting off the inversion fair value gap. No, I'm not doing that. Because I don't put every inversion fair value gap as an ICT inversion fair value gap. Why? Because this is not the first imbalance that's leaving that area. So I'm not looking at that as being used as an ICT inversion fair value gap, but I do have an ICT breaker sitting right there. Right? I do have an ICT breaker sitting right, and that's the wick of the breaker sitting right there. Right? I do have a huge ICT bullish order block sitting right there, and that's the wick of that order block sitting right there. Right? I do have that right there. I do have those things, right? But the breaker right there, extreme sensitivity off the breaker, showing that it's extremely bullish, right? Extreme sensitivity at the inversion fair value gap. Why? It's the first SIBI that was created coming down. Once we closed above it here on this 2 a.m. candle, it's now an inversion fair value gap. And once we come over here and trade back down into it, extreme sensitivity, right? Yes, this 5 a.m. candle traded down into this lower imbalance, traded down into this bullish order block, right? This is your bullish order block right here, but it didn't even get to mean threshold. What does that mean? Extreme bullishness. So it's showing you not one time it's extremely bullish by not being able to make it to consequent encroachment of the wick inside that breaker, right? It didn't show you, it showed you again, right, with not closing below consequent encroachment of the inversion, and then without even being able to make it to mean threshold, right? And then again, right, not being able to even make it to consequent encroachment of the inversion fair value gap. So it's showing you over and over and over that it's extremely bullish, right? Extremely bullish. And then we continue up into the next first gap right there, right? Pay attention now. This is the first from this move right here, right? And once we clear this high right there, this is the first for the overall move coming down, right? So that's why we're watching those two SIBIs on this time frame, because you always want to pick the PD arrays that are going to be used as ICT PD arrays, right? You don't want to just pick any random fair value gap. You don't want to just pick any random mitigation block. You don't want to pick any random anything. You always want to have a reason for why am I picking this PD array and what do I expect this PD array to do. All right, get it? Got it? Good. All right, so yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the intraday time frame. We just kind of, you know what I'm saying, we just kind of slow crawling our way up, right? We slow crawling our way up. All right, we opened up, right, came down. This is the low of that daily fair value gap, that SIBI that we're watching from March 26th, right? Went to the low. All right, we came up, came all the way above consequent encroachment, right? And we traded all the way back down and used the lower quadrant, right, as support. We're wicking below, but we stayed, that's that lower 25%, right there. Then we rallied all the way up above the high of it, right? Went up into that fair value gap. Then we came all the way back down to consequent encroachment again, right there. So you can see how we're stepping up those quadrants and even the eighths. I was just focusing on the quadrants right there, but you can even see the eighths in there also, how we're reacting at those eighth levels also. But I was just, you know, focusing on the quadrants because I like to look at the quadrants right? If I go there, those are the quadrants right there. See, I like to focus on the quadrants because my eyes are used to looking at the quadrants. The eights just give you that added fine tuning, but you can see how, right, we're utilizing those quadrants on the hourly time frame to stair step up, right, as we're stair stepping up. And then there's some more buy side up there if IPTA is still strong and wants to attack buy side. You got some internal buy side up there, and then you got some buy side up here resting at these relative equal lows up here in an extreme premium of our dealing range there. That's the highest high, that's the lowest low, right? That's our all of our internal liquidity inside that dealing range there. Okay, so again, price could very well take out all this liquidity and keep going down. But if we came up and took out all this liquidity, right, we might as well use this daily SIBI as a inversion fair value gap to take us up, right? Because if we look right there, right, that's the first SIBI created on this entire move down right there, right? And that's the first SIBI on this entire move down there. So you get there and you use it as an inversion to push you up if the algorithm is still, you know, gunning for more upside. Now we're coming up into this balanced price range. So for the bearish sentiment, you want to see that used as resistance to push us back down, right? But if the algorithm gets strong, you want to see it push through this with very little hesitation. Because if you're below a balanced price range and price is bullish, the algorithm should cut through it like butter, letting you know, hey, I'm bullish. Just like we looked at the signatures of it showing us the strength over and over and over and over. You want to see that strength as it cuts through that price. All right, y'all do me a favor, man, hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Thank you.